Free agency got you down, friends and neighbors? That's all right, because we can simulate a draft tonight. We're going to do this live. The RGR mock draft in session coming up right now here on RGR Football. Welcome back, friends and neighbors. We're going to get this adjusted, and we are going to get started here tonight. We got a couple of things. If you're new to the channel, click the like and the sub and the bell notification right now so you know what comes next. Danilo's going to have a great video for you tomorrow, one of his draft crushes. We're going to continue down the path that we've been going down this whole off season as we get more and more information about what the Chiefs do and don't do. And we're going to take a look at tonight at drafting live through the mocks. But we got a couple of things to cover, and one is, I should have kept that zoomed out all the way so you guys don't have to see my T. Sorry. Got my brand new sweatshirt in support of the Trespalacios Scholarship Fund that you guys can go visit here. It's a little bit of a process, but you just got to tell them where you heard it. Say tribute as part of your gift to them, and that will support. This is at Howard University. In Boston. And that's the web address that you can go to participate. And for those of you who remember Terrace on this channel or on the Locked On Chiefs podcast, where he was a regular guest, it's worth helping out because I think it's, in light of who he was, it's really cool to see that a scholarship helps somebody of need get into journalism, which is, his passion beyond football. You know what I mean? He could have written about other things. I am totally sure. Spilled a little of that tea because I got in a hurry. Funny how that works when I'm not doing something right. But I'm going to leave that run here for a minute just so you guys can get a hold of it. And I will get rid of this. We are live. You guys know that. So I guess I don't need to leave the banner up all night, right? Couple of things that we have to go over. In that, Dan Sorensen's back. Demarcus Robinson is back. I don't think that changes the draft strategy. I'll tell you that. There are some base deals, base veteran deals that I think can actually help this team move forward and is going to. Let me double check. Okay, Dan is not going to make this. So I have the headphones on just for the sound effects on the draft itself. And I switched over to a little blue light because we're going to take a little bit wider look at the NFL itself and how some of these tiering of different positions is going to change as we go through, even though we're going to draft for the Chiefs tonight in our live mock. I cannot fit enough thank yous into this show for all of you super chatters, all of you that buy the t-shirts and check out the RGR store and pick up your own stuff. That support is incredible, and I really, really appreciate it. It has become quite a bit lately. And not just the super chats. If you want to do one tonight, let me know. Throw out your opinion about who you want me to draft with that particular pick, and we'll give it a shot. But also want to give a shout out to James Grisham. Welcome to the memberships. The memberships are fun. Small group of us at the all-pro and elite level that we get together on Zoom once a month and go through that conversation. It's a free-for-all, to tell you the truth. All of you members that are not at that level, you can watch it on replay. I do post it later in the week for everybody. That should come up tomorrow for all the other members that aren't up there. But you get bonus videos in the whole 9 yards, and it's a lot of fun. And James just became our newest member. So welcome, James. I hope that you guys enjoy that. If you guys do choose to super chat tonight, please throw something in there beginning. It doesn't have to be question marks because I'm not going to take a ton of questions today. But if you have your idea of what it should do, maybe throw some exclamation points or something in the beginning. That will help me pick it out as well. You guys know I'm a little challenged with the visual part of this when I'm trying to do so many things. Aaron Morrow, our fearless mod, is in the house. Cole Killer is in the house. Thank you, Cole. A lot of friendly faces. Stevie Keys is here. Aaron Todd is here. Longborn's here. A bunch of the members, bunch of friendly faces. Really great to see all of you. I do have to back up just a little bit because couple of super chats I missed at the end of Monday night's Q&A. Couple from Gooch. Thank you, Gooch, as always. We missed you on the Zoom the other night, but we'll catch up. You and I need a one-on-one. It's time for that time of month again. And just wanted to say that Gooch was letting us know about the reasoning behind the Raiders in their back and forth with their center. And it was, I think I agree with you, Gooch, a bit so that the Chiefs couldn't try to go hook up with Rodney Hudson again and bring him back. I think that would have been worth it. But I was still a little surprised that they even had interest, so that's cool. I like that. Chiefs Knicks fan, thank you very much for your super chat from the other night that I didn't get to see until after we were done. And yeah, center and tackle, we're going to talk about that coming up here when we start the mock draft here. And got to from Daryl. Thank you, Daryl, very much. That was just a thank you, but very much appreciate you as always, as well as every other one of you members and everybody. Jordan Reed is not somebody that really sticks out in my mind. KC Chiefs guy. And impact, I think our main need in this draft is OT. Where do you rank our needs after that? Linebackers up there. Corners up there for me. Corners always up there for me. I think you should always be improving that position, period. I think that this team wants to rely on the safeties to cover things up. Tyron and Juan. And to some extent, Sorensen, that's why he's back. I would rather invest in top-end corner talent than take that chance. Aaron, thank you for pointing that out. I always forget that part. But beyond that, interior offensive line is right up there too. So any of those four, like however they're tiered, and you guys will see my board. I'm going to try to get everybody here to do a board. We'll see if they decide to do it or not. It's going to be completely voluntary for all of the RGR contributors. But you will see my board about a week before the draft. That's when I generally release it. I think Matt Derrick has agreed to let me release it for download over on chiefsdigest.com, his site. So you can probably grab it from there and download it yourself if you want to follow along, tick them off or whatever. You can even laminate it and just circle all the stuff I got wrong or whatever. But it'll be my tiering about how I place guys. And you'll find that generally on an average year, I'm anywhere from 18 to 24 first-round grades. I have never in my life had 32 first-round grades in a draft class. So it varies for everybody. But, Aaron, thanks for reminding me. You can become a member, if I do it right, by clicking over here. Underneath there should be a little blue circle that says join. That'll give you the tiers, and you can choose from all that, and it's different perks than different tiers. So check that out. I don't know if you can do it while we're in live chat. I think somebody said the other night that was being a problem, so apologies. I'm not sure about that one. Bandito, I hear where you're going. Those are three guys that are going to go, I think, in drastically different places. I have a feeling Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be in the top 40. I think Diami is going to be in the second 40 to 80 somewhere. And I think Anthony's going to be in the 120 to 150 range. So there's plenty of opportunity to get any or all of them. We will see how it falls tonight. And I think for everybody else, I think we're in pretty good shape here. All right. So we are going to click over. Now I got all the super chats. Good. I want to make sure I got those. Let me share my screen and we'll get over to what we're doing. I'll keep a little bit up here. Let's just do the application window. So I can try, and I'll zoom in a little bit so it's not so small. All right, this looks like it's going to work. Let me hide a couple of things in the browser so you guys don't have to look at all that. And I think that's going to work. We're going to increase the magnification because I think that helps this site so that you guys can see it. So we are picking for the Chiefs. We are going to get started. We're going to go all 7 rounds because if this is updated correctly, we should have a, 6-round pick? 207, I think is what it was. And here we are. That looks pretty good. How does that look to you guys? Is that big enough or should I back it back out? I can go back out to here. How does that look on the screen? You guys let me know in the live stream, please. Aaron, Todd, thank you for your super chat. You have to X out of chat to become a member. Okay, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Najee, can you find Can you can you see them finding a fullback and converting number 48 to tight end into a halfback? I don't think he's fast enough to be a halfback. He could certainly be a fullback, but quite honestly, he needs to be off the line of scrimmage. I think he's an H. I don't know that he's dynamic enough for me to really design the H part of the offense around. So I think Nick Keiser's got some growing to do, and I hope that, yes, they have guys on board right now that they can go to war with. I hope that they upgrade that position quite drastically, to tell you the truth. Longmorn, would you bring Breest back before Breland, I'm guessing. Yeah, I definitely would, especially because like you saw with Sorensen and like you saw with Demarcus Robinson, there's not a whole lot of value at this point. Now we're into I think the third wave here at this point, and I don't think you're seeing the big deal, so he should be cheap. I'm sure he's disappointed about that, and I don't blame him. But I would like to see Breland back because I think it gives you a floor at the position. Then you can go ahead, and whether it's early or whether it's a mid-round guy, you can go ahead and draft more talent and keep, what was a Super Bowl qualifying defense for the most part together. That with the return of him, with Willie Gay coming back off of injury and Sorensen, I mean, that's a team that was good enough to get you to a Super Bowl. So couldn't win one. Well, could win one, but couldn't win this last one. But I think that's a good floor to start with, and then you can upgrade from there. Let's see, one more. James Grisham, thank you very much. Let's hope they go OL and LB early and often. I don't think you're going to see more than one linebacker taken. I think the class is interesting, but I don't think it's terribly deep. Once they get out of, say, definitely out of the top 100, probably out of the top 75, I don't think there's a whole lot of linebacker depth to go for. Okay, I want to get the rest of these super chats, and then we'll start picking. How many spots do you think Vitri would be willing to move up if someone drops? I think he'll go up. I mean, what did he go from 23 to 10 for Patrick? That's pretty dang steep. I can see him probably spending up to a pick or two. And then depending on the value, I think he can probably go up to 22. I mean, 20 probably is probably the cap for my thing. I think it would be very, very expensive to get in to the 16 range. So I think 20 is probably a round number. Good question, Eric. Jake, does the fact that they brought back D-Rob in lieu of signing literally anyone else at receiver indicate that Casey has a line on a big one in round 2 or 3? It may, or they just may feel that there is enough good ones in there that they can upgrade that way easily. And if they didn't get the veteran free agent that they can just walk in and hand part of the offense to, then they feel that they have upside guys that they can go draft. That's my guess. John Firth, we'll get to Frank Darby when we get there. From what I've heard from two people that I trust is that he is the best of the Arizona State receivers of the last couple of years, including the kid up in New England. So it is what it is. We're going to find out. All right, let's see where we're at. We are set up for this draft. We are picking for the Chiefs. We're going to start it and see when we get a trade selection. Trevor Lawrence, number 1, as it should be. Jamar Pitt's still going in the top 4. There are a number of GMs around the league that will tell you that even though he is that good, picking Pitts in the top 10 is a definite risk. I find that interesting. One offer from the Lions wants us to go back from 1 all the way to 72. We're not going to do that. The Washington football team would like us to go back to 51. Way too far. Now, this is out of my range too. I would not want to go back to 2. And if I did, I would have to have at least a number 3 pick. I'm going to decline it. We're not going to try to do that. We're going to do 2 of these tonight, so we'll get there. Tanner, what do you have? Do you think that J.C. Horn fits what Spags wants to do on defense? Do you think he will be available at 31? Do you think he's worth a first? I do think he is worth number 31. I do have a first-round grade on him. The 3 of them are right there. They all have their warts, but it is him, Surtain, and Caleb Farley, who has come down my board since the news of his medical. He's having back surgery, and that is significant. He missed the last 2 games of his junior year, did not play his senior year, and had all that time to recover and correct things and didn't. So that is a concern for me for Caleb Farley. But J.C. Horn is in my top 3. He is a first-round grade on my board right now. And I have done four games of his film. So will he be there at 31? I don't think so. It'll be interesting to see if that happens here. Oh, it did happen here. And now you see what is the great thing about CDN. And nothing against FanSpeak. I re-upped with FanSpeak. I'm waiting for them to upgrade their boards with someone that I actually think has a good grasp on what the league thinks, rather than what they have up there right now is a bunch of people who put up their rankings. I want a board that I can draft from that actually represents without having to build my own, because I don't have the time for that stuff. We are doing so much work around here, you guys. Like, I'm between the day job and this job, I'm working 15, 16 hours a day trying to get everything done. Dan is doing the same. He is working his tail off. Aaron and Jeff's burning the stat data now. Like, we are all on, and Danilo can't get enough football even if he was asleep. So like, that's how much we're looking at this stuff. And I just want you guys to know that, because everybody here at RGR is working their tail off to try to provide more information through our various researches. Okay, that said, so Farley is the question here, because he is certainly on tape a first-round pick all day, every day. Not a problem. The question is this significant back injury, and the fact that he's here now at 31 when he was going in the top 15 tells you something. I am concerned about that. Like, not so much them taking him off the board, but I do question spending the first round, even though his grade is a first round, on him now, because back injuries just scare the pants off of me. So I'm going to say no. I know this is weird, to Caleb Farley right now. Christian Barmore. Dan has a bad grade on him. Dan did the interior defensive lineman first. I haven't cross-checked him yet, but I will tell you this from watching him. He can be explosive and dangerous, and he can have plays that he totally takes off. He is not consistent at all in my book, and that makes me nervous. So that drops us down the list. Eric Stokes is right in there with Greg Newsome, who was on the thumbnail for this draft, as my second tier guys, just beyond the three biggins. Eric Stokes is in there. He has some pluses and minuses too. He has all the speed. He tested wonderfully. And he does show it from time to time, but while he says he likes to play man, he doesn't play man that much. And you can see two of the guys that actually look at that. That's kind of funny. I will highlight this real quick. All three of the guys that I put on the thumbnail, because this is where the range where I think they might be available. All three of them went the 3 picks before we're picking. So, I mean, that tells you where it's at. Always getting a bump right now. I think he's definitely going to be available at 31. I don't have a first round grade on him. He's an extreme athlete. He proved that today at his pro day, which his numbers, if I pull them up, hold on a second. I will give you guys a glimpse of the athletic matrix, maybe, if I can get the spreadsheet to come up. But apparently it's not gonna. So I might have stopped sharing for a second. I'm not sure. Let me try something different. And that is to do this. And no, that didn't do it either. Dang. Okay. I'm going to try to restore that. There we go. And it is hidden. Okay. It's not going to work with sharing right now. But I will tell you this. He is an extreme athlete at the edge. He is somebody that I think is worth investing in, but he has very, very little production. So he's a gargantuan man that moves really well. I mean, really well. But he hasn't put it all together. He played 3 seasons and has 7 sacks to show for it. When you look at his pressure production, which is one thing that I always track. I do look at sacks, but you have to look at pressures overall. He is below the threshold in college that Frank Clark is in the pros. That tells me something. You should be dominating college if you're going to be a good NFL player. So that isn't quite enough. In fact, his partner that bookends him is one of my draft guys, like my value picks, Shaka Toney, who actually produced more pressure and is, I think, 15 pounds lighter as of the weigh-ins today. So that's something to keep in mind. We didn't like any of the trades here. I know I'm getting way off track. Stokes is in that group. Zaven Collins is at the top of the linebacker group. So there's two things that we had needs listed at. Kadarius Toney is up here. I don't think he's a first-round player. I'm glad to see him in the 30s now. I actually have him lower than that. Then there's Eichenberg, Radens. I don't think Radens goes that high. I think he's mid-second at the best. And then we have what we've seen the last couple times we've been here, the interior guys. Creed Humphrey leading the pack. I think Miners is going to be a better value. I think Miners and Humphrey are going to be very, very similar in their NFL careers. I think you're going to have to spend a whole lot less to get Miners. Leatherwood's down here in the 50s. So we could try to trade back. Jamin and Jabril are here. I would lean towards Jabril myself. You guys know that, but either of them would be available. So let's see if we can't move back a touch and still get Zaven or Stokes or Eichenberg. So let's try going back with, say that you are the Jets and you decided you're not going to take the quarterback with number 2. You're going to trade out of that. You're going to get good picks, right? Now you're willing to trade back in probably, and you want to get that first round 5th-year option on a guy. This is where you might get a trade back in. And so like, I'm going to go call them and say, listen, I know you all want that 5th-year option. So I'll move back to your 34. I'll swap with you, but you're going to have to give me 86. And they're going to say no to that pretty handily. But I will throw in a 4th and maybe even a 5th. And that barely budges it. Okay, so can I do it for a 4th from you? And they don't even want to do that either. Okay, so they're not very desperate. I'm not going to push it too hard because I know we're going to do this again tonight. So let me know in the chat, and I will scroll so I make sure that I'm caught up. Of those 3, let's go. Stokes, Collins, and then the next guy that I think would be a value is Eichenberg. I would prefer to trade back here, but you guys hit me in the comments. Andrew says they're not taking Collins. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs says, Longmore, good question. I don't like Mayfield's film as a first rounder. I'm just not sold on it. So I think the left side is what they got to look at. And yeah, who was that? Somebody just said what I was waiting for. Curtis said it. I'm not going to take him because the injury risk is too high. You could end up with a first-round player that can't play next year and maybe has something that stops his development for his whole career. This is a serious issue, having back surgery at this point when you've had a year to prepare for it. So no, I am off of that. We'll not be taking Farley this time. Maybe we'll do it next time if he shows back up. So it looks like the overwhelming is to address the need, and I'm okay with a little bit of a reach here. I think Eichenberg's in the second tackle tier as well, so I'm comfortable with that. So let's go and put him on to this roster and see what happens as we move on. Let's see. Looks like everybody, for the most part, is happy there, except Hot and Spicy. Well, yeah, exactly, and that's a very good point. How he falls is what's going to be really interesting, because if he's there at 63, take him in a heartbeat, because that second round pick is, I think, affable to if that did blow up and he wasn't able to play for you. Like, I can live with that for a second round. I can't live with that with the first round pick, especially when you have to protect Patrick. And that's why the Eichenberg selection makes sense. Now you get into a different group. And so this is like 3rd tier offensive line. I think some include James Hudson in the 2nd. I probably have him in the 3rd. At least I do right now. Excuse me. I'm getting hiccups. So I think we're there. It looks like there was a lot of folks who wanted Zaven as well. So sorry, I disappointed you. We'll see if that happens next time. I like Asante Samuel, Laddie. I really do. But I'm just not sure how well he can hold up. I think 5'9" was pretty generous. I want to say he came in 5'10" was generous. I want to say he came in at like 5'09" too, like 5'9" and a quarter. Jabril Cox went too early here. We lost out. Osai, I think, doesn't go this high, by the way, in reality. Where's Jamin? Jamin went way up in the 40s in this one, so that's interesting. So we're looking here, and Asante is one of the second tier corners. Maybe he's on the edge of the third tier now that I don't have the corners stacked out exactly how I will yet, but I'm pretty close. I will tell you this: if I'm looking at this board, and these are my options here, I do like Eskridge. I think he's a neat player, and I think he can grow into something. Richie Grant is a good player. Now that Sorensen's back, though, it makes it really hard to consider taking him here in the 60s. That's just it's just a luxury at this point. So it's difficult for me. So that does bring me back to Asante Samuel Jr. And he plays a little bit of everything. I don't think he had the ball production as much as some of the other guys did. And when we reboot this and start the second draft, I will try to go pull that up and check my stats. Unless, do I have it here? Let's check real quick. Sorry, giving you guys some inside sauce here on how we do things and some of my notes on players. Some of these are me, some of these are Dan, so don't hold Dan responsible for my thoughts, but let's look at Asante. So I like the fact that he travels. I respect that, and I think that means something in the next level. Quick hips. He can do off-man or bail zone, and that's perfectly fine. Plant and go and mirror as well. That's important. This is my concern. Misses some PBUs. And several of the interceptions that I did see from him were where he was taking advantage of an underthrown ball. And more power to him. That's what he should be doing. But that doesn't always mean that you can go create turnovers, and that's part of my issue. But in this group, I think this is way too early for Rondale Moore for me. I think he came in at 5.076, so 5.7 3/4. That's an issue for me, especially when you have Tyreek Hill already. Like it would be a similar role, similar things that you could do with him, in my opinion. So, and you have a very good point, Eric, that injury history is important. So Joe Tryon's an interesting player. I think he can be a good edge, but the opt-out thing, I haven't redone his film from 2019 yet, so I'm still a little out there. It does come down to the secondary, and I'm gonna do something here that you guys are probably gonna bail on, but I'm gonna tell you this: a player that is similar size that I think can do a lot of the things that Asante Samuel does, and he does it in at the nickel, is Elijah Molden. And the interesting thing is, in 2020, he played safety as well. He is very, very versatile and would allow them to play two robber sets to move Tyron and Elijah around. They could do some very similar things. Just for giggles, I'm tempted to go there. The receiver group, there's a nice group down below. I think we can get there later. So it really comes down, trying with an opt-out. We did the tackle, so it comes down to Molden or Asante Samuel. You guys tell me who you want. I know who I want. Let's see if I get enough to go with what I am. And you're right, Andrew. He is, quite literally. The Huskies of the University of Washington's nickname is Dog, as are the Bulldogs of Georgia. Let's see. Okay. Looks like this is leaning one way. Aaron says Asante. I wonder if Laddie feels the same way. Corey did. A lot of Moldens in here. Couple try-ons. Okay. Looks like most are going Molden. So we're going to go Molden. Don't worry. We're going to start this over here again a little bit. Okay. Funny that we didn't get a trade offer yet that we liked. I thought Laddie would say Asante, so hopefully we can do that next time. Now, we are in the middle of the third, and the Eagles want out of their pick. And they want us to give them a sixth and next year's third. That's interesting. Let me counter offer them. I'll give you this year's sixth, but I'm only going to give up a fourth the next year. Let me go to 22 and change that to that. And that goes way away. What if I change that to that? Nope. No, I'm not playing around. I'm not giving up thirds to get cute. Tyson Campbell is a guy that I like. Luckily, we already took a corner, but I do like him. He is more of a turn and run. My only problem is he doesn't have the ball production that Stokes did. And I think they played Stokes in a little bit more of a zone from the games that I watched. And I think you could put Campbell on an island. He's got to work, but he's 4.38 versus Stokes 4.24 or whatever it was. So like he's got plenty of speed too. Tyson Campbell is as fast as L'Jarius Sneed. That they ran the same time. So that's intriguing to me. But at 84, I don't think that we're going to be able to trade them. I'll try one more time and I'll tell them, I'll give you what? I'll give you a fourth and next year's third. I don't know. We could maybe make that work. It's a round jump, but maybe they could throw something in. No, they're not going to throw anything in. You guys want me to do that? I'm not so sure. I do like the idea of moving up, though, but let's see who's there. Let's double check. Who would we go with? Josh Myers would be the pick right there. That's it. That is a nice pick. Secure the inside, not have to rely on Ryder. You could get some things done there. Carmen's a developmental tackle. So if next time we come back, this is going to be interesting because if those rankings end up holding up, there's a couple of options there right here in this section. Peyton Turner's an edge that I liked at the Senior Bowl. Quincy Roche's an edge that we liked last season as, the other guy. He's not Jalen Phillips. Carmen is a developmental tackle. I think it's Avery that really likes Carmen, and somebody does because he's got some great tools. Brady Christensen is a zone tackle from BYU that I think could fit in this offense really well. So this is kind of a sweet spot, but it's just a little bit higher than where the Chiefs are naturally. So let's see if we can just move up and pick up something. Let's see if we can just go up from not giving up a third. Let's give them a fourth next year. And let's see if we can just move up from 36. Let's see if we can just move up from 94. You guys just want to move up? And maybe we can get a fifth back? Nope. We can get a sixth maybe, though. And a fourth next year. We'll try that. Hey, they took it. Okay, so now we're on the clock at 84, which gives us the options. Josh Meyer, I won't take Chaz. Peyton Turner that we talked about. Roche. Carmen, I think we don't need. Same with Sean Wade. And Sean Wade, I don't think will even go here. Paulson Adebo had a good pro day. He's more athletic than he looks like on tape. And Keith Taylor's the guy who plays with Molden that I like as well, but he's not as dynamic. He actually reminds me a bit of Bashard Breeland, but he doesn't have the takeaways. Ben Cleveland's here. Okay, now we're just losing track. So right now I am pretty much zeroed in on either taking, excuse me, Peyton Turner, who's an edge with some oomph, or Josh Myers. And I'm leaning towards Myers. You guys tell me if I should stop that. No, looks like, Miners, good question. Where is Miners? Where did he go? Or did he already go? I'll take a look just to see where he is. Yeah, he must already be gone because he's no longer on the list. Show drafted. Oh, no. Are they listing him at tackle here? That's strange. MIE? Miner's not on this list. That's crazy. Or do they have him at tackle? No, they do not. Okay. So we are back to our looks like you guys say take Myers. But curious your thoughts on Pete Werner. I'm not a Werner fan. Not enough bulk for me. Played coverage all right. I don't like him against the run. Quite frankly, I'm not a huge fan of any of the Ohio State linebackers, to tell you the truth. But no, there's no way he goes up here, in my opinion. He's third round. I guess we're in the third round, aren't we? So he's third round at best, in my opinion. I probably wouldn't take him until day 3. So looks like you guys. Tommy Tremble, I don't think he's on the board any longer, you guys. I mean, that would make Aaron happy, Kansas City. And it's hard for me to call you by your name, Kansas City Chiefs, because then like everybody looks up, right? Nobody knows who I'm talking about or if I'm talking about the team. So you got to hit me with something else. Jamin Davis sounds great. He went like 20 picks ago. He went in the first round, I want to say, or no, maybe it was the second round. Jamin went at 48. So everybody seems to be okay. All right. So I'm going Josh Myers. So we're going to fill in for Patrick. OT, got a corner that can line up. I think if really pressed, Molden can start it at inside at nickel. Right now, without Breland, right now we have Sneed on the outside, which puts Fenton in the middle. I like Fenton's game. He can get beat deep. His weakness is over the top speed, but he is nasty. He makes plays. He has some ball instincts, and I like the way that he's going. The big question mark at corner spot for Chiefs is going to be what happens with DeAndre Baker. So TD power all around. He can move in the zone when he has to. He's a smart guy. And he put together a lot of good calls there for Justin Fields. Oh, wow. Why not? That's a pretty strong statement. I like Jamin. I'm not ready to go that far. We are at 136 in the fourth. We have Patrick Jones and Ogundiye, and both of those are okay. I tell you what, though, in terms of pressure percentage, Dalen Hayes is better than both those guys. So if we were going to go edge, which I don't think we have, right? Yeah, we have two linemen and a corner. Edge is definitely on there. And the fourth round, I'm okay with that. I'm not a big fan of Ambry Thomas and Mann. Shad Weaver, I'm not. I would take the other two above him for certain. Ellerson, Caden Stearns at safety. I like that, but they just brought back Sorensen. So I don't know that a safety is going to play much. Wiggins is okay. He's got some injury history, though. I don't like Surratt. Williams is all right. I think we still have some wide receivers that we can get. So we're going to take Dalen Hayes. You guys have seen me do it before. I'm going to do it again. and if this happens in the draft, we are going to be live, by the way. We will be live for the whole draft, basically. On day 3, we may kind of jump in and out of some different time frames around when the Chiefs are going to be picking. Certainly, if they trade around in day 3, we'll be live. But so far, it'll be me, Dan, and Matt. Derek will be on. I'm trying to get some other friends to give us some time during the draft. But we were live for over 10 hours last year. We plan on doing very much the same thing. So be here for that. Let's see. What about Bo Peep Keys? He's in there, but I don't think that he's going to affect what they do here because he's just not – you're not sure what you have there yet. Let's see. So unless anybody has some big problem, okay, good. We're back on at 144. We have the edge. A lot of these guys are still here. And now's where I think we can pick a little bit earlier than most and get some wide receiver skill out here. There's a lot of secondary edges here, lower down edges. Here's Danilo's guy, Yeboah. Schwartz is still here. I like Shi Smith too. He came in pretty small at his pro day, though. I can't remember what his number was, but it was smaller than even I expected. So that was a little bit. Here's the guy that isn't getting enough pub, I think. He's, what is he? I think he's like 4 pounds lighter than Azeez Ojulari. I really like his game, and I think he could be a developmental guy. Looks like we're going to have an opportunity to take him again later, though, which I will kind of stand up for. So let's see here. I don't think you want another running back. I think if a UDFA shows up that you like, I think you go there. But I don't think you put a pick in here for Chuba Hubbard. Chuba. I can't remember how I'm supposed to say that. But not into these edges. Dre Fitzpatrick's okay. I haven't done his film, but I've noticed him secondarily. So let's see. Shi Smith, Anthony Schwartz here, or Kenny Yeboah. You guys let me know. One for Yeboah. Kenny says Josh Immorta, baby. Is that how you say that? Is he even still on the board? Immorta, baby. Okay. I do like him. I think we'll have an opportunity. How many picks do we have left at this point? These scenarios get away from me, and I can't remember how many picks we have. So we still have this. We have 75, 81, 89, and 207. Man, we haven't made a single trade. Hey, there you guys go. We haven't made a trade. That's crazy. So there's Daz, Schwartz, Shi, and then Laddie's guy, Josh. Fahoko had a good pro day. Jalen Darden ran some great agilities today, so proved that he is that in and out of cuts type guy that can play underneath is my guess. You guys know I like Cade Johnson. Jalen Darden, I think, was a little underwhelming in his pro day. Racy McMath actually had a decent Senior Bowl. Keep him in mind. And then there's everybody's favorite Terry, Jonathan Adams. And then there's Marquez. So, like, we can get these guys in a bit. We don't have to take them here. I think the best thing to do right now is because of the way the board is set up. I think the best value for us to take right now is going to be Yeboah. So we're going to do that. So we'll grab him. And so what have we done? We've gotten a corner that we feel can at least play in the sub packages. We've gotten a developmental edge that will play behind probably Mike Dana at first. And if I have a feeling Tano Passanio is going to get signed back now that all the money seems to have kind of deflated. We'll see if that comes in. They want us to go up a pick. No, I think I'm happy picking where I'm at there, San Francisco, since you stole 2 players from this team here this offseason. Not too happy with you. Okay, so now we're back. And we're back with Shi Smith still on the board. Josh from Illinois still on the board. Shaka's on the board. We have 6 picks till the next one. We have Simi Fehoko. By the way, Divine Diablo did a couple of nice things at the Senior Bowl. At this point, I wouldn't mind investing in him. Who else do we have down here? Jalen Darden, Cade Johnson, and then all the rest. So this is the point where we can bulk up the bottom of the wide receiver group. So let's see. So Burrell says, take Josh Immorta, baby. See, and now I'm going to say it that way, laddie. Stevie, I'm glad you're happy. That's cool. And we haven't traded around like a million times, which is kind of like what I enjoy doing, but it's all out there. Let's see. Andrew agrees with you. Fehoko we got to vote for Fehoko from Nick. Let's see. Take a safety. No, I'm not taking a safety yet. I won't take Terry Gillespie. I don't think Terry Gillespie can actually play for the Chiefs. There's just not enough variability. I don't think he can get back enough. And even they asked Dan to cover the whole field at times single high. I don't think that's it. So I think the value here, though I like Shi Smith, he's a little undersized. He's a little too much like what the Chiefs have. What's Josh's size? I know he's decent sized. Yeah. 6'2" might be a little generous, but I was going to list him at 6'1". So let's go with Josh. We haven't done this. Just for you, laddie. Want to get that done. Okay. So we're a couple picks later, and my guy Shaka is still on the board. We're going him hands down. We have 8 picks until we get to take the next selection. So Shaka is a guy that's a little bit under. Honestly, he would fit into a 3-4 tomorrow. I think he can play in the 4-3, and I think he can give you a bit of a speedier attack. I do like that. So we got him, and we come back 8 picks later. Fajoko's still on the board. Divine Diablo is still on the board. He is probably the best safety available right now. Let me double check that. Damar Hamlin's actually pretty good too, though, but I would say more of a strong safety from what I saw. I was doing Paris Ford's film, and I didn't, he was in the corner of my eye. I didn't zero in on him. Let's see. And they have Ford below him. That's interesting. DJ Daniel. Terry's still down there. We still got picks, guys. Don't worry. I'll get you one of your favorites. Let's go Diablo and fill in another safety. This is somebody that I think can come in and likely compete with Armani Watts from what I've seen. And granted, that is, a narrow choice list. We still have, I think, one more pick here at 207. We're going to double check that. Yes, this is our last pick. So now you guys are going to get what you want. I would go Caden Johnson here because I like him, but I know how you guys feel. And in the room, I'm sure this conversation is going to go on with Brett Veach. Terry down here. Adams is a big boomer bust guy, and certainly at this point in the draft, it's easy to take a risk on him and Marquez Stevenson. So you guys tell me who you want. Stevenson, Jonathan Adams, or Terry? Interested to see how this comes out. Is there anyone else? I'm feeling pretty good about this. We got a secondary developmental edge. I like that. Got a tight end that can push Kaiser out of the way. I'm pretty certain because he's a pass catch first tight end, even in the fifth round, whatever that was. Dalen Hayes is a guy that can compete to be the big edge. Shaka can be the quick edge. We got the wide receiver help here. We're about to do another one. I think we do need to take a pass catcher here. Fetty, I'm not sure why you think that. There's a lot of drop issues and there's a lot of performance stuff. He'll be here, but expecting him to be in the 6th is, I don't think that outlandish. Could he go as high as the 5th? Yeah, if somebody falls in love, but I think 6 is about the right spot. Stevenson, Marset, Stevenson, Terry. Oh, you guys are about split on Stevenson and Terry. Keep coming at me. I need a deciding factor. Might come down to Aaron. Let's see. Jake, one thing I haven't seen you do in these mocks yet is move up in the 1st. Dare you to trade up high enough to get the guy you really want in round 1. Jake, you're killing me, bro. That's the thing is I like a lot of guys. There's nobody that I'm like, I got to go up and get this dude. Like, I don't have a target. I like Jalen Waddle. I like Pat Surtain. I like Azeez Ojulari. None of them, I don't think, are worth giving up multiple picks to get there. But hey, we'll see what comes, and maybe I'll try it for you. No, Joshua, I think what they've signaled here is that they're not interested in maulers, that they want to stick with the inside-outside zone. They want guys that fit their system. Tooney certainly is. Long, I think, is. The possibility of bringing Ryder back, I think, just seals that you want to stay with what you are, that they're not switching over to like a power gap scheme, and they're not looking to maul people more. So I would say that that's probably not worth exploring. By the way, Jake, thanks for that one, and I'll take you up on it. Looks like Stevenson's getting more votes, so we're going to go with him if I can find him, because he should be here, and for some reason he's not jumping out to me. So let me change this to wide receivers, and we'll take Marquez. Oh, except they wanted to these guys are killing me. Watch, he'll go right now. Sorry, guys. We would have taken Stevenson there to finish that up. So, Ross, I think he can at times. He's got to come back lighter, I think. Between the elbow injury and he gained some weight while he was out, I think that's what kind of settled that Colin wasn't going to beat out Deshaun Wharton for playing time, and that's what it came down to. So, okay, so I messed up the last pick because of the trade thing, you guys. That happened to me last week too. This would have been Stevenson, so just remember that. But this isn't too bad. Addressed critical need up top. Got a player that I think can give you multiple ways to get on the field and help you on the defensive side in the secondary in Molden. Come back with an interior guy that can make the calls and not make you rely on Austin Ryder, who I think is going to be 32 by the time the season starts. I think his birthday is going to be during camp, if I remember right. I don't know. I've looked at so many of these guys. Young Adam, Vasher just hasn't stood out to me. I know that his production is okay. I'd have to take a look at him to really like want him or not. I like what Yeboah brings. I do like Tommy Tremble. It just depends on placement for me. We got Yeboah here. We got Dalen Hayes and we got Shaka Toney. I think that's a nice pickup for developmental side of the defensive end spot. So interesting. Yeah, I certainly don't want to draft somebody that's going to be a position move when I can just get him as a UDFA. Avery tried to pause it before the last pick so we can see what UDFAs you think would go. Oh, okay. That's a good idea, Avery. I'll try to do that here this next time. So we're not going to save this. This wasn't that great. We're just going to start over. And I know we only have about 10 minutes, you guys. We'll get to this. Jay Elder, I like the way you're talking. I thought he did pretty good for a guy that isn't like a speed rusher at the Senior Bowl. Most of the guys that do well against that are speed type dudes. So I thought he showed some power on tape. I think it was the Clemson. Was it the Clemson game? he's just shoving dudes out of the way. I like the way that he sets the edge. He's powerful. And I think if he can, I think he fits what Spags wants. He can be like the not uber explosive type guy. All right, we're going to set up a trade now so that we don't. And let's see, where would we need to get Surtain? Let's see what the first 10 picks come in, and then we'll pause. Slater, Lance, Waddle. Surtain already went. So there was one of my guys, Jake. I would have traded up for Surtain. Now, J.C. Horn is still there. Ooh, Pitts is still there. That's interesting. Now, I will tell you this. After running back, tight end is the next position that I probably wouldn't draft in the first round. It's difficult for me. Certainly in this situation when we'd have to give up so much. We've allowed to, JC just did go. I lied. I'm sorry. So I would have traded up for him as well. Waddle is a guy that I like. I would not have traded up to 7 to get him. Who's here? Elijah Vera Tucker is an interesting one. I think he can fix some things. I think Azeez Ojulari is right now the top pass rusher on my board. I have not done my final stack yet, you guys. These two guys are really interesting because this site, and I know these guys, and I listen to their podcasts too, they're doing their rankings based on film and what they see when they play. I don't think they're taking into account the external factors enough. Jalen Phillips has serious concussion history, and he retired from the game in college just to transfer. I think there's some question marks there. I don't know that teams are going to trust him in the first round at the top of the draft. Oweh is an extreme athlete. He proved that today, and I don't know that he's got the production to back it up for a lot of teams. I think this is a little high for Cosme as well, but that's interesting that he's there. So let's see what happens in the next 5, and then I'll try again if we see somebody. Okay, Vera Tucker. I would not have been willing to trade up to 15. I would be willing to trade up to about here, and the Bears are a trade partner. I think, honestly, they're probably trading out of this to go up this year. I think they got to get a quarterback. And what quarterbacks are left? Mac Jones is the quarterback left. I don't know anybody's trading for that, but let's give it a shot. So we're going to try to trade with the Bears to prove, Jake, that I'll move up. Let's see what the Bears have to have. By the way, I would not do this. I just want to say that out loud. So I have 31 that I'll give you there, Bears. Let me. That kind of ruined it. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to scroll. Okay. They're not so interested in just a swap, obviously, nor should they be. I will throw in a 4th that you're not interested in, but I have to give up a 3rd to get up there. Would I have to give up a 3rd and a 4th? That barely gets it done. Will you give me back a 5th? No. Will you give me back a 6th? No. Even their lowest pick, 228, they do not want to give me back. So they're saying that I have to have 3 picks. This is crazy. Curtis, I like Cosme. He's a very athletic guy. I got to go do his film myself. I know Dan took some notes on him. I worry a little bit about power getting the best of him. So that's why I'm a little concerned there. Aaron, the athletic matrix will be out as soon as all the pro days are done. Normally I release the first version of the matrix about 2 weeks before the pro days are done. Usually this next week is when I try to put it out. And then I give it update once the rest of the pro days are done, because most of the hardcore data comes from the combine. This year's just weird. So the athletic matrix isn't going to come out until all the major schools are done. And I believe that's going to be yet another few. I think it's going in next week, if I remember the schedule right. So it's coming. I'm working on the data now, and then I'll start building the actual guide. And then the draft guide will come out a few weeks after that, when we put it all together and we get the production numbers and we can actually make the guide. It's going to be interesting this year because it's going to be a whole lot more hit or miss because we haven't had the combine. We haven't confirmed a bunch of things. So this trade with the Bears, I think, is dead, you guys. So let's see, where else could we go? I said I would go up to about 22. Let's see if the Titans are going to trade with us. I doubt. But let's try it. They're happy to do that kind of trade. They're happy to trade back 10 and we just give up a fourth, of which we have 2. Can I get them for a 5th? We can try it. No, they're being smart. They're going to make me call twice or maybe even 3 times, but we'll see if we can get it done. If I have to give them a 4th, we can. Okay, so they denied that. So if I give you a 4th and you like that, I want to go up here too, and I'll give you a 5th for it. Okay, what do you guys think of that? Moving up 10, but I'm giving up 2 picks. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we're going to give up the 4th. I'm going to send that offer. They're going to take it. So there you go, Jake. I traded up once. Hope you like that. Now we're on the clock. Now people want to trade back, and here's where it gets interesting. So the Jags are willing to let us move up into the 4th for moving back 3 spots. That's interesting. The Bengals are offering an extra 3rd if we move back 7 picks after our original pick. Aaron, I like your thinking. I'm trying not to because I don't think that the Chiefs will actually do that. So I'm trying to keep it in this year. But if we have to, I will consider it. Let's see. And this is moving back to 42. That's too far. So we're going to decline that. Move back to 25 and get a 4th. That's interesting. That means they have somebody on their radar that they want to get in front of the Jets for. And I think we can squeeze a little more out of them if we get this counteroffer to lift. Or maybe it won't. Now, this is 38 and a 3rd and a 6th, but they want our 5th. Not really interested in that. Talk to me, guys. I am interested in doing this one. Oh, they're not giving us, but it is moving us up. Okay, we'll just take it. We're going to move back 2 spots. So they came up and they got Tevin Jenkins, and I know somebody wanted me to trade for him. I like that. Now we're sitting at 25, and now I think we have a few more options because Phillips is on the board. I think that's interesting. Caleb Farley is still on the board here, and I know you guys like him. So is Sam Cosmi, as well as a guy that I don't think is getting enough love in Terrace Marshall. I think he's a guy who could fit the X really, really well. And so the question for me becomes, do the Chiefs have this receiver or this tackle higher on their board, or this edge rusher or this corner? I mean, because they value wide receivers a little bit more than most teams, but the others that value the top 4. Sorry, Joel, I know you did. I thought he was going to survive there. I didn't think they were coming up for him. But they were. Apologies. And you guys, you can do this anytime you want at thedraftnetwork.com mock draft machine. Keep sending them to me on Twitter. Copy Dan and Danilo as well. It's keep throwing them at me. It doesn't take that long, so anybody can jump on here and do this. The trades, you got to be a premium member, but it's pretty reasonable and it's a lot of fun to do. So again, who's going to be who's going to be higher on their board? Terrace Marshall at wide receiver, Caleb Farley at corner, Jalen Phillips, Jayson Oweh. I think they're both going to be down lower, so we're not going to take them. Kwity Paye, I think, is probably going to be lower as well, probably. So it comes down to Cosmi, Farley, or Terrace Marshall. What do you guys got? Jay Elder, I will check out PFN too. Okay, 2 Cosmis, 1 Kwity Paye. I'm not going to do Oweh. I'm sorry for those that really dig him. I just don't trust it. Cosmi. Okay, it's going to be Cosmi. By popular opinion, we're going tackle, but a different one. A Longhorn. Welcome to Kansas City. Barmore goes. Jalen Phillips goes. There's Terrace Marshall, who went at 29. It's really interesting that that's why when we stay pat at 31, we don't generally have a chance at him. Stokes went in the 40s. Creed Humphrey at 49. Jamin Davis again. We are at 63. The Texans want us to go back to 67. I could do that, but I'm going to make you give me more. So I want that one. And I'll give you this one. I'll go from 4 to 6. It's only 100 picks, dude. Come on, Nick Cassero. Nah, this is trash. I don't think this is worth it. That's 10 pick movement. I'll do this and see if they take it. If they don't, we're walking. No, but they did. Okay, so we're going to move back. And now we're back on the clock after the Jets. And the Jets won out of it. They want to move back 1 pick and give me a 3rd. Oh, they want a 5th out of us as well. No, I think not, people. But I will move back 1 pick and move up here. Maybe I can get them to do this too. Nope. It was worth it. Can't get them to do anything for that. Nope. Okay, but they will do this. Okay, so we're going to move up and up. Or backing up, sorry. Okay, so they get to flip and take the player where they were. And who did they want to take so bad? They wanted the edge in Joe. Let's make sure that went through. So we have 66. We have 86 now. So we moved up from 96. I would like to get this a little bit higher. Think they'll trade me? I don't think so. Okay. Enough messing around. I know we're over time, you guys. I'm sorry. Cox is gone. Yeah, Jabril should be long gone. Yeah, he went in the 50s right after Jamin, right after Creed Humphrey, 3 players that I like. So that's a little bit troublesome. But here we are at 66. And Tommy Tremble's on the board. We've done the tackle, right? We've got the tackle out of the way. Tammy Brown's here. Amon-Ra St. Brown is here. 2 guys that I think in the 70s I can live with. Ifedu Melifonwu, I think, is a cover 3 guy. I know you guys like him. A lot of people like him, but I don't think he's a good fit. So yeah, we're here. Richie Grant or Tommy Tremble. I think I know what you guys are going to say, but let me know. I don't know that Nico Collins is dynamic enough to be consideration here. Did he go? Is that what you're asking me? Oh no, he's there. I just missed it. Diami. Yeah, you got a good point, Stevie. Aaron might riot if I don't take Tommy Tremble. Let's do it. Oh boy. And they want us to come get 68 for a 5th. No. They want us to come get 69 for 86 and a 5th. Nah. You deal with your stuff there, Bengals. There went Collins. There went Togai. There went Peyton and Quincy. There's Yeboah. So we are back on the clock at 86, and nobody's offering us anything. And now look what you guys got. Huh? Looks like we're going to go all offense all the time here. But, hey, that's probably what the Chiefs are thinking, too. We got you, Diami Brown. I hope you like it. I think Dan will be happy. And, Stevie, I didn't have Aaron quit. Doug, everyone was moving up in the draft like they always do every year. No. I don't think that they are. They don't move up every year. At least not, and I'm talking specifically about the first round. Did the Chiefs move up from 63? Yeah, they absolutely might. I just don't think that there's anybody that's going to be within striking distance for them to go get. I could be wrong. I'd be pleasantly surprised if I was. Okay, we are in the 4th here at 130. Jalen Twyman is an interior defensive lineman that I think has a lot of upside. Israel Mukwamu, I think is how you say it. It's Mukuamu, maybe. I don't know if it's 3 syllables or 2. But Israel's a guy, and I talked about this with Craig Stout from AP yesterday, I think. Just a quick little exchange about the fact I think he's a position change candidate. I think this guy can be a big safety. I think he needs to be a zone corner, and I think he's got the twitch to come downhill. I like him as a Dan Sorensen replacement, possibly. How big did he weigh in? I can't remember. 205. Okay, so he could use a little bit of weight, but he's 6'3", so he's taller than that. Let's see. Osa. Trey Brown's here. Trey Brown's another nickel option, I think. So what do you guys think? Deo Digbo is an interesting guy on the edge as well. I think we need to go something here on the defensive side of the ball before we get too carried away and just go offense all the time. So talk to me, Gooses. Aaron says Twyman. What did Trev say? Yeah, terrible. I'm with you. Yeah, Hufanga I like. Did he go though? I'm pretty certain. Maybe he didn't. Accounts there. Wiggins is there. Yeah, he went. Kane Sturds is there. Okay. Another one for Twyman. Deo, couple of Deos. Okay, so we're down to the two. We need to just make a decision between the two of them, you guys. I would lean towards Twyman, but the positional edge goes to the edge. And I think Deo could be interesting. I think he's got the power. Oh, I didn't know that about his Achilles. Thank you, Dave. That changes everything because now it is nowhere near equal. Aaron agrees. I won't take him, you guys, but just keep an eye on Israel Mukwamu's name. I think it's going to be an interesting. Okay, if he tore his Achilles just in January, then I'm out on him for now. We're going to take Twyman and roll on so that we can finish up. I'm sorry, I meant to keep it to an hour. I know I always go over this, so there's too many injuries. I can't keep up. Let's see here. Okay, so Digbo's falling. Ayigbo, is falling. Trey Brown's still on the board. Dalen's still here. LB wise, somebody asked. Monty Rice is still on the board. I think that's a little surprising. I think by the mid-4th, he'd probably be gone. But yeah, maybe we should get a fill in there. Is that what everybody wants to do? Go for Monty Rice, who's the highest rated. We're at 136. Do we have another pick before that? I don't know. Let me take a look. We have 136, 158, and 181. So we will not have another opportunity at a linebacker that can play. I'm not convinced that Monty Rice can play. So we're on the edge there. You guys got to know that before we make this decision. Dalen. Deo. Yes on Rice. Okay, Aaron said yes, so I feel validated. Okay, so that was truly filling a hole. So here we went early offense, and now we're filling in the defense. That may be the way that it happens. You never know. We are on the board at 158. We do have Caden Stearns. We have Kari Vincent, who's an interesting one. I think he might move to safety. We have Schwartz, Shy, Josh. So we have a couple of those guys that we talked about being wide receiver options late, but we filled in the wide receiver thing. I don't know that they're going to go to the bank. Some of these guys, like Stevenson, like Adams possibly, could end up being free agents. So the UDFA aspect is interesting. I know Avery asked me to stop before I make the last pick, so I'm going to do that. But I'm take a look here. I'm going to say, because we haven't looked at the secondary at all, it really comes down to I'd wished that Trey Brown was here, but he's not. Shakur Brown's here. Not sure that's a big plus. So I think we'll take a player that I think is an interesting case. We'll take Caden Stearns. And we're going to come down to this last pick, and then, Avery, I will go over who we think might be UDFAs. Let's see. Because the guy I'm hoping stays, and he did, is Shaka. Okay, so here's where we are. We are 5th round. This is basically the situation that Chiefs were in last year. They've expended their actual choices, and this will be the last one in round 5. And so if they want somebody else like Bo Pete Keys that they're hoping becomes a UDFA, they had to trade back in to get him. So who could they be hoping for, right? They could certainly take any of these guys on the board right now, including Puka Williams, Rock Chalk. And Jalen, Tommy Kramer's still down there. That's lower. I like Cade Johnson. You guys know that. I think there's plenty of wide receivers that could go into UDFA territory. And since we went Miami in the third round, I'm feeling like maybe that's what we should do and see what else we have here. Not a whole lot. So what haven't we done? There's an edge in Cooper and Ellerson Smith from Northern Iowa. There's Shaka. Patrick Johnson, too. And I haven't watched him. There's Hubert from K-State. And then it's the wide receiver group. Other guys that could go UDFA that could make it. Puka Williams will be one of them. I do think he will be a UDFA. I'm not sure. Drake Jackson could fill in. He'd be kind of like the Darrell Williams from last year, where he's a UDFA interior lineman that has a lot of upside. I like that. I don't know. Bynum's a leader and a smart dude. I would take a chance on him UDFA for certain, but I don't know that I want to do that here, given this is our last pick. Alaric Johnson's going to be a project for the tackle. Somebody just asked that, didn't they? Project tackle Longmorn. Alaric Jackson would be one. He's Canadian, I believe. And then the receivers we talked about. So I think really for a draft pick, I think for value, you're going to look at the edge. Alaric Johnson could be the outlier there. Hey, Carlos, welcome to it. I'm glad you made it. Oh, and good info, Stevie. Evidently, Carlos Dunlap is going back to the Seahawks. So this comes down to two guys for me. Ellerson Smith, who has some upside, and Shaka Toney that we took last time that has some upside. You guys decide. Talk to me in the live chat. Thank you for all the super chats tonight, you guys, and for all the input as well. If you want to help out, hit the link there below, givinghoward.edu, and tell them Terrace sent you. You can help us out too by grabbing some of the gear at the RGR store. We got all the new Trooper stuff in there. Get ready for the Athletic Matrix. Let's see. A lot of Joshes here. Ellerson, Smith, Ellerson. Not taking another receiver, DD, or whoever said that. JC. Not going to go another receiver at this point. There's too much bulk here that could fall out into the UDFA region. Ellerson took Toney last time. Okay, Trav, that's fair. I'm down with that. Let's take Ellerson. And we're done. So we'll let that wrap up and we'll review it real quick. But yeah, thank you all for participating tonight. This is a lot of fun. 250 people in here tonight. And I encourage you guys to take a look at this stuff too. The Pro Day stuff is all coming in. So like some of these things are going to change. And I know that there are some teams that put more pressure and importance on the Pro Day workouts than others do, especially this year, because this year's just kind of weird. Natalie, thank you very much for the super chat. I hope that you enjoyed this, and it's not really a question thing, but let me know if you did or you didn't, or what was your favorite pick, Natalie? I'd like to see that. Jim Murphy wanted me to take Hubert. I get that. You're welcome, Aaron. I knew that you'd been waiting a while. So that's what we did. We got Samuel Cosme, the most athletic tackle in this draft. I think at the end of the day, that's what he will be. He certainly is now. Not everyone has tested, obviously, but right now in the Athletic Matrix, I believe he is number one. I will have to check it when we're done with the stream to make sure of that. But Trev, good point. Yeah, some crazy things go over there. There's a lot of trades that happen that I don't think are based in reality, but it is what it is. So we got Cosme. We came back with Tremble and give a true number 2 tight end, which I don't think is what they have. I think they're just patching it together with Spackle right now. And then Diami Brown, because we traded around. We got into the mid-third round, not the bottom of it. And we got Diami Brown. And I think that'll make Dan happy. Hopefully it makes you guys happy too. I think he has some of the tools that they need. I think he's a little raw, but at 86, I don't think that's a problem. I see a lot of folks in replying to Dan. I don't think he's a first rounder. So I don't think Dan does either. We'll have to ask him flat out next time. Then we came back with Jalen Twyman, who I know has not performed up to like impact level guy, but we took him at 130. So we're good there. Monty Rice filling in at the linebacker spot, which really is an upgrade from Dorian O'Daniel, and quite frankly, maybe an upgrade from Ben Neiman. Neiman's a smart guy, but he's just not covering ground. By the way, I think his little brother's coming out in this draft too, by the way. Then came back with Caden Stearns, who I think can do some interesting things. He'll have to learn a lot. He reminds me a lot of where Armani Watts was a few years ago when he was drafted. And then finished off with Ellerson Smith just to see if you can catch lightning in a bottle and get an edge rusher out of it. So glad you guys like this one. We definitely did things differently. So I hope that it was fun, and I appreciate you guys spending the time. Tell your friends about RGR. We're just growing. Danilo's going to have a video for you tomorrow on one of his draft crushes. And we'll be back over the weekend. I've got some guests coming that I think you guys are going to like. Not always Chiefs-centric, but we're going to get some outside opinions on where the Chiefs are. And what the trade values are, and like who thinks that they can work with them and that kind of thing. So I have some perspective coming. I think that's going to be fun. So thank you to Aaron and Jeff and Dan and Danilo, all the crew here at RGR. Thank you for watching, and we'll have something for you tomorrow. Have a good one.